Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An hour of comedy from Hollywood this hour, as we start off with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, and their special guest, Marlene Dietrich. This episode of the show was originally broadcast on March 21st, 1952.
Transcribed.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Hollywood, we present the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis Show. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our master of ceremonies, Dean Martin.
Well, hi, folks. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Well, it's Friday again. We've just returned from a month of personal appearances. Yes, sir, we made a lot of friends in such wonderful cities as San Francisco, Minneapolis, Cincinnati, Boston, and New York. Well, now... Well, if it isn't my partner, Jerry Lewis.
If it isn't, I sure been using the wrong toothbrush.
Tell me, Jerry, after a month on the road, how's it feel to be back in Hollywood?
I'm glad you asked me that, Dean. I'm going to tell you, too. When I got off that train in Los Angeles, I was really feeling good. I hopped off in the best of spirits, tipped the porter with a big smile, walked through the depot happy as a lark, strode through the big main entrance, took one look outside and said,
Jerry, don't tell me you're going to stand there and say we had rain in California.
What? Me say that it rained in California? Don't be silly. It never rains in California.
That's better.
Sure, my kid always goes to school with a flock of salmon.
Flock of salmon? Jerry, now this conversation is really getting insipid.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds insipid enough to me.
Look, Jerry, will you take a word of advice from someone who loves you?
Sure. What is it, Ma?
Jerry, I'm not your mother. Your mother's a woman.
Good heavens, so that's why Dad married her.
All right, very funny, Jerry. Really, you fracture me.
No, you fracture me. I just joined the Blue Shield.
What's the use? I can't take much more of this. One of these days I'll have to leave you and take a holiday.
All righty. Which holiday would you like? Christmas, New Year's, or Judy?
Jerry! Judy is not the kind of a holiday I want.
You don't feel good with me.
Oh, forget it, Jerry. You won your point.
Let's face it, buddy, I always win my point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it lived. I don't know where I am.
Well, I know where I am. I'm just about to introduce our first guest.
And what grand surprise have you in store for us tonight? Pray tell me, won't you?
Well, tonight we are being blessed with a visit from Dr. Ludwig von Crevice, the noted tree surgeon. He's the most famous tree doctor in the world.
Dean, I hate so to disappoint you, but Dr. von Crevice won't be here. He broke his leg.
Oh, that's too bad. How'd it happen?
He fell out of a patient.
Well, now what do we do?
Simple. Just introduce me as the doctor, and your tree troubles are all over.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce the world's leading authority on tree health, the world-renowned tree surgeon, Dr. Ludwig von Crevice. Good evening, Dr. von Crevice. As a tree surgeon, I know you must have some unusual experiences. Tell us, have you ever been in danger?
Well, once I was up... Well, once I was up in a tree with my saw, and a big bee stung me on the hand.
Did you put anything on it?
No, it flew away too fast.
But while you were up there, did you saw anything?
What could I saw? On the second floor, they had the shade pulled down.
Doctor, will you tell us about the famous operation you performed on that giant elm tree?
Certainly. First, undercut.
Hoist?
In the beginning, I made an undercut on top of the tree, then I made a top cut at the bottom of the tree. This allowed the sap to circulate freely. Then I stripped off all the bark, exposed the cambrium, and made a quick incision with my scalpel. And then chopped, turned, sort, and spliced. My job was done.
Well, good heavens. What was wrong?
Nothing. I was barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah. Tell me, Doctor, have you ever done any grafting?
Well, once I ran for mayor in Scranton.
No, Doctor. I mean, have you ever conducted any big experiments?
Oh, surely. I was the first to cross a California redwood with a New Hampshire maple.
And what did you get?
Splinters.
Maybe you can help me, Doctor. The pine tree in front of my house is full of little yellow blisters.
Oh, that's nothing. Yesterday I saw a tree and it was complaining because its peaches were too soft.
Oh, that can't be serious. The peaches were probably overripe.
But the problem wasn't that simple.
Why not?
This was an apple tree.
Apple tree. Our time is running short, Doctor. Before you go, would you care to make any statement as to the general health of trees in this country?
Certainly. I would say that most of our trees is pretty sick kids. And the situation is getting worse.
I suppose you could say that the trees are going to the dogs?
No, but you could say the dogs are going to the trees.
March 21st, 1952, The Martin and Lewis Show on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The bad part about the radio show is it didn't come across as well as their television shows did, primarily because Dean and Jerry were mostly a visual act. I mean, Dean sang good and Jerry was funny, but it best sold on television. Now the conclusion of the Martin and Lewis Show, March 21st, 1952 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest tonight is one of the real great treats in our current series. She is easily one of the most beautiful, glamorous, and famous actresses of our time. And it's really a thrill to welcome her here now. So here she is, your favorite and ours, the one and only Marlene Dietrich, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody. Hello, Dean. And thank you, Dean, for the very flattering introduction.
It's my pleasure, Marlene. And now I suppose you must be anxious to meet my partner, Jerry?
Not necessarily, Dean. I saw him in the hallway before the show. He was chasing a girl.
Well, that's nothing. Lots of fellows chase girls.
With a slingshot?
No. But hark. Here comes young Romeo now.
Hey, Dean, after your next song, can I...
Good heavens, you went and had your legs remodeled.
Jerry, you're looking at the most beautiful legs in the world. And they don't belong to me.
Don't be sad, Bobby. You still have a pretty face.
Well, Marlene, this is Jerry. Are there any questions?
Yes. At what age did they cut off his tail?
Wow, this thing sounds like Humphrey Bogart with a sore throat.
Jerry, this happens to be Marlene Dietrich. You've seen her in pictures. She usually plays a siren.
Siren? sounds more like a foghorn.
Look who's talking. He sounds like Andy Devine having a nightmare.
Now, you see, Jerry, you've made her angry. Now, I want you to behave like a real gentleman. After all, this is Marlene Dietrich.
She's Marlene. Well, if she's Marlene Dietrich, I'm Johnny Ray.
You better show him, Marlene. Well, what do you say, Jerry?
If your sweetheart sends a letter to your wife.
Well, you mustn't mind Jerry, Marlene. His mind wandered.
Well, don't worry about it. How far can it go?
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good, Marlene. No kidding. I mean, you're really a serious actress and you play all those serious parts. But this time you get on our show and you insult me and the whole audience laughs. It's really terrific. I mean, from a legitimate actress and she makes a joke and... Dean, we couldn't get Gloria Swanson.
Well, if that's the way you feel, I might just as well leave right now.
Oh, no, please don't leave. I was only kidding, Marlene. Honest, I didn't mean any harm. Why do I hurt people this way? I'm just no good, that's all. Mistake, that's all I think.
There. Don't be sad.
Oh, I'm so unworthy of everybody. Why must I be so difficult? I'm so young and terrible.
Dean, this boy's too much for me. I just don't know how to handle him.
It's easy, baby. Just pick me up and hold me tight. That's all.
Please, Jerry, I'm afraid you have a lot to learn about the opposite sex.
Oh, yeah? Is that so? Well, you just ask the other girls about me. Ask Rita Hayworth. Ask Janet Leigh. Ask Selma Cransfarb.
Who's Selma Cransfarb?
She was my childhood sweetheart. But I learned her secret when they cut off her curls.
What was her secret?
She was really Sidney Cransfarb.
Jerry, I don't think Marlene is at all amused by your ridiculous talk.
Oh, I'm having a wonderful time, Dean.
You know, Marlene, someday I'd like to visit your program, Cafe Istanbul. I heard it last week, and it's really terrific.
Say, why don't we bring a touch of Marlene's program to our show right now?
That should be fun. I'd like to see you, too, in one of those mysteries of the Near East.
Well, why wait? And away we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we are proud to bring you a drama filled with foreign intrigue and breathtaking suspense. Tonight's thrilling episode is fittingly called Cafe Turkestan. Our scene is the notorious Cafe Turkestan, the most fabulous night spot of the Middle East. It is here that we meet the characters in our play. There, out of her dressing room steps the exotic dancer, Michelle.
I am the dancer, Michelle.
Out of the black night steps the American, Rick Martin.
I am the American, Rick Martin.
And out of the kitchen steps the waiter, Harold.
I am the waiter. I am Harold.
Hey, how about some service over here? Let me speak to the owner.
What seems to be the trouble here? Oh, it's you. Hello, Ricky.
Hello, baby. Long time no see there.
Long time no dance.
Long time no embrace.
Long time no kiss.
Long time no have something to say.
Michelle, I've been here 20 minutes and this waiter still hasn't taken my order.
Be patient, Ricky. Remember, he's only got 2 heads. You know, Ricky... there's something suspicious about this waiter.
Yeah, he has a strange and shifty look. I think he's a spy.
What makes you think that I'm a spy?
You just swallowed a piece of paper. There's a map sticking out of your pocket. You have a bomb in your hand. You're wearing 3 medals from a foreign government, and I recognize you from a picture in the paper.
Yeah, but what makes you think I'm a spy?
Hey, now I remember him. He's that international spy, Mata Jerry.
This is Mata Jerry? He doesn't look like much of a spy to me.
Oh, yeah? Well, for your information, I happen to be pretty experienced in cloak and dagmar.
You're experienced in cloak and dagger, not Dagmar.
Look, buddy, do I tell you where to get your experience?
No.
Come on, Mata Jerry. Tell us your mission, or you will regret it.
I'll never tell. You can break every wheel in my body. You can put lighted matches under my cigarettes. You can pull out my toenails, all 12 of them. But I can't tell you, do you hear? I can never tell you.
Why, you fool? Why can't you tell us your mission?
I forgot what it was.
I know what I'll do. I'll search him.
Don't you dare lay a hand on me.
Why not?
I'm ticklish.
Oh.
It's no use, Ricky. He must pay the penalty of spies.
You mean?
Yes, he must be eliminated.
All right, Mata Jerry, I'm going to put my arms around your neck and crush and crush and crush. Do you have any last requests?
You're going to put your arms around my neck and crush and crush and crush, and you want to know if I have any last requests?
That's right.
I sure have.
What is it?
Let her do it.
All right.
Dean, you certainly sang that song pretty.
Jerry, the word is prettily. I certainly sang that song prettily.
How can one man be so modest?
Speaking of modesty, boys, I understand you just finished a marvelous television program for the Heart Fund.
Well, we served a 16-and-a-half-hour stretch in New York and loved every minute of it.
That must have been quite a show.
Oh, not really, Marlene, because we had a lot of wonderful people to help us make it a success.
And speaking of wonderful people, Marlene, maybe you're interested to know that there was one gal named Maria Riva who stuck with us for the whole show and did a tremendous job.
Do you know Maria, Marlena?
You might say she is related by marriage.
You mean like a cousin or something?
No, like a daughter or nothing.
Gee, imagine 2 such beautiful women in one family.
Why, thank you, Jerry. And thank you, Dean. I really enjoyed myself tonight.
Thank you, Marlene.
Yeah, we've had beautiful people on this program before, but... Wow!
Good night, boys.
Good night,
Good night, Marlene.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marlene just mentioned our telethon for the Heart Fund, and the wonderful contributions from the people in the New York area made it a great success. We would like to commend the Heart Fund for doing a very wonderful thing. Knowing that the Muscular Dystrophy Association is a charity that is close to our hearts, very graciously offered MDA a percentage of all the monies raised, a beautiful gesture that will go far in giving hope to the sufferers of this dread disease. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, funds are needed desperately to help our scientists find a cure. So please give all you can. Send your contributions to MDA, New York 8, New York. That's MDA, New York 8, New York. Thank you.
Well, folks, till next week, this is Dean Martin.
And Jerry Lewis reminding you that our new picture, Sailor Beware, can now be seen at your local theater. We hope you'll go see it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Hollywood, you just heard transcribed the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis Show, written by Ed Simmons and Norman Lear, produced and directed by Dick Mack, with music under the direction of Dick Stavia.
Dean and Jerry's radio show ran from 1948 to 1953. The first few years were a situation comedy type show, which didn't work as well as their later years on radio, where it was mostly a variety show with a number of great guest stars, like you just heard, with Marlene Dietrich. Like I said, radio, it didn't seem to me at least to be as compelling as their video work, their movie work, and their television work. Still, it was quite funny, and compared to a lot of comedy shows on radio, it wasn't bad at all. For March 21st, 1952, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up in our next half hour, we will check in what's going on in the Jack Benny household as Jack tries to listen to the radio and listen to his favorite soap opera, The Mean Old Man. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll continue following these important messages from your favorite radio station. Anytime you can find us online at classicradio.stream. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Now the comedy continues on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with an episode of the Jack Benny Program, March 21st, 1954.
The Jack Benny Program. Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Jack Benny does another television show with his guest stars Bing Crosby and George Burns. But meanwhile, let's go out to Jack's house in Beverly Hills. I know he's home, so if you'll just follow me, we'll go in and pay Jack a visit.
And you needn't ask me to leave because you're going to sit there and listen to what I've got to say.
Uh-oh, we better not go in. There seems to be some sort of a commotion going on.
I haven't told you half what's on my mind. And believe me, I'm talking for everybody in this neighborhood. When you first moved in, we thought you were a nice, gentle, kindly old man. But before we knew it, you had the mortgages on all our houses. Oh, I don't blame you for not saying anything. All you can do is sit there with your mouth open. And why? Because even you know that last trick you pulled was the cheapest, most abominable thing anybody ever did. Imagine putting a woman with 7 children out on the sidewalk because she missed one payment.
Rochester, turn off the radio.
You have just heard another episode of that thrilling story, The Mean Old Man. In tomorrow's episode, you will hear the true story.
Thanks, Rochester.
I don't know why you listen to that program, boss. It always upsets you.
Well, I don't know where they get those fantastic ideas for radio programs. Nobody can be that cheap.
Well...
And that corny title, The Mean Old Man. It's ridiculous.
I'll get it. Mr. Benny's residence, star of stage, screen, radio, television, and the only laundry service that... Oh! Hello, Miss Livingston. I almost wasted a commercial on you. Yeah, I'll put him on. It's Miss Livingston, boy.
Thanks. Hello, Mary. How do you feel? What? 100? Mary, that's awful. Oh, your temperature. I thought you meant the doctor bill. Anyway, I'm glad you're feeling better. And Mary, what? Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll call you tomorrow. Goodbye.
What'd she thank you for, boss?
Well, everybody's been sending her flowers and fruit and candy, and so I thought I'd be a little different.
What did you send her?
A bowl of chili. good in this nippy weather. You know? Anyway, it looks like Miss Livingston will be back on the program next week. I'll get it. Da-da-dee-da-dum, da-dum, da-dee, da-dum, da-dee, da-da-dum. Well, hello, Mr. Brown.
Hello, Mr. Benny. I'm sorry I'm 3 days late with the rent on our house, but here it is.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, our hot water heater is leaking. You think maybe you could have it fixed?
Well, plumbing costs are awfully high now.
I guess they are. But it's been months since you promised to paint the living room.
Well...
I fixed the hole in the roof myself.
Good, good.
Well, I guess I'll be running along. Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Brown, how's your wife? What's she doing now?
Oh, haven't you heard? She writes that radio program, The Mean Old Man.
Oh, yeah, I listen to it every day. Your wife has quite an imagination.
Yeah, imagination. Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye.
Who was it, boss?
Mr. Brown from Long Beach.
Oh, you know he's been complaining a long time about a hole in the roof.
It's fixed, it's fixed.
Boss, I don't remember you sending anyone down to fix it.
If I say it's fixed, it's fixed. If you don't believe me, listen to tomorrow's episode and you'll find out. By the way, Rochester, has my television script arrived from CBS?
No, not yet, boss.
My director, Ralph Levy, will be here soon to go over it with me. I wonder what's holding it up. Oh, that must be it now. Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, it's you, Dennis. Come on in.
Well, thank you.
How do you feel, kid?
Fine, thanks.
How are your folks?
They're fine, too.
That's good.
Especially my father. After 6 months, they finally took the cast off his foot.
In a cast for 6 months? Dennis, what was wrong with your father's foot?
Nothing. He stepped into a bucket of cement.
Look, Dennis, look, kid. I can understand your father stepping in a bucket of cement. I can almost understand him standing there letting the cement dry. But why would he keep it on his foot for 6 months?
My mother made him.
What?
When he stayed out late at night, he couldn't tiptoe into the house.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. Imagine your mother making him keep his foot in a bucket for 6 months.
2 weeks ago, it came in handy.
How?
Well, they were invited to a masquerade, and Papa went as a potted palm.
You know, I can't understand you, kid. You come in here and talk. When you talk, you sound so ridiculous. Then you sing, and when you sing, you're a completely different person. What are you, a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Uh-huh, and each one has his own show.
What?
The doctor's on another network.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so long, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, kid.
Oh, say, Mr. Benny.
What now?
Can I have your permission to do a guest spot tomorrow on a dramatic program?
Dramatic program? What's the name of it?
The Mean Old Man. They've got a wonderful part for me where I fix a hole in the roof.
Well, do it. Goodbye. Oh, Rochester, are you sure my television script hasn't arrived?
Not yet.
Well, I'm going to call CBS and see what's holding it up.
CBS, the star's address. What? All right. You don't have to shout. The line is busy now. Hold on. Who is it, Gertrude? Jack Benny. He wants I should get him the mimeograph department. So why were you so fresh with him? Why was I so fresh with him? The other night he called and asked me if he could pick me up and take me dancing at the Macombo. And then he got mad because when he called for me, I was wearing my overalls. Well, I don't blame him for being mad. Why would you wear overalls to the Macombo? Who gets to the Macombo? I always wind up fixing his car. Well, you're better off than I am. Why? I'm not mechanical-minded. I have to get out and push. Have you been out with Jack lately? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. He took me to a nightclub. We sat at a corner table. The lights were low, and he got so romantic. What'd he do? He had the waiter fill my slipper with champagne. Gosh, 3 quarts. Did he drink it? Yeah, he stuck a straw through the open toe. See? You must have had the happiest feet in town. Yeah, laugh, but you know what I've been thinking? Maybe we shouldn't be so fussy about men. I guess you're right. After all, we're not getting any younger. Speak for yourself, John. I'm only 23. 23? Then how did you get that medal for sticking to your switchboard during the San Francisco fire? It wasn't me. Why should I lie? You were there. Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Benny. The line is still busy. Your television script? Yeah, I'll tell them. Goodbye.
That mimeograph department drives me nuts. That script should have been here hours. Oh, maybe that's it. Come in. Oh, hello, Don.
Hello, Jack.
Don, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
Now, Don, don't try to kid me. There's something bothering you. What is it?
Oh, it's the sportsman quartet. They're mad at me.
The four of them?
Yeah, they're outside, and they won't come in because I'm here.
Well, that's ridiculous. Come on in, fellas. Hello, boys.
Hello, boys. See, they won't talk to me.
Yeah.
You have such a wonderful idea for next week's commercial, haven't you, boys?
Have you? Well, this is the silliest thing I've ever heard. Don, why are they mad at you?
They found out that you pay me more money than you pay them.
Well, that's a fine thing to be mad about.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. I think they've got a point there.
Well, Don, if you feel that strongly about it, there should be an adjustment. How much am I paying the quartet now?
$100 a week.
Oh. Well, Don, if it'll make you feel better, starting next week, I'll cut you down to the same. Okay?
Thanks, Jack. That solves the whole thing. Now there won't be any more trouble.
It's amazing that I didn't think of that myself.
Oh, Jack, the sportsmen can't wait any longer now. They're appearing at the Statler Hotel here in Los Angeles, and they have to get over there and rehearse some new numbers.
Oh.
So long, Jack.
Goodbye, Don.
From March 21st, 1954, Jack Benny on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of the Jack Benny program, March 21st, 1954.
I don't want no ricochet romance. I don't want no ricochet love. Well, I saved a little money by cutting down salary, but I lost a little, too. After all, I'm his agent. Let's see. Oh, Rochester, I'd like you to take the car and pick up my suit at the cleaners.
But, boss, we haven't had the Maxwell all week.
We haven't?
No, don't you remember? You told me that any time the movie studios wanted to rent it, I should let them have it.
Oh, so you rented it. What picture is it going to be in?
Ben-Hur.
What?
It comes in second in a chariot race.
Second, eh? Gosh, I hope they don't whip it too hard. Well, you have to take the... Rochester, someone's at the door.
I'll get it.
Okay. Gee, that Ben-Hur is a great story. I remember the first time they made the picture. They begged me to be in it. Who wanted to be Francis X. Bushman's father? He had so few lines. Rochester, who's there?
It's your TV director, Mr. Ralph Levy.
Oh, come in, Ralph. Come on in.
How are you, Jack?
Fine. Here, have a seat, Ralph. See, there seems to be a delay in Mimeo with the TV script, but they should be delivering it any minute now.
Jack.
And as soon as it gets here, we can we'll put in what few minor little changes you might have in no time at all.
Yeah, Jack.
Because, Ralph, this is one script that I have complete confidence in. I worked on it from the start. It's got just the feel, the flavor that I want.
Jack, the script isn't being mimeographed.
What?
That's right, Jack. I read it this morning, and I just couldn't let it go through.
What do you mean you couldn't let it go through?
Well, Jack, in my opinion, this script is nothing. To start with, the situation is weak, and it goes no place. There's no action, no movement. It's a completely static thing. And what humor there is old hat and corny. In fact, I can't remember when I read anything that's so obviously amateurish.
Well...
And that's not only my opinion, it's also the opinion of my assistant, Dick Fisher, of my entire technical staff, of the head of BBD&O, and of the chief of CBS Network Television.
Oh, yeah? Well, I showed it to my butcher at Safeway this morning, and he was nuts about it.
Your butcher? Well, what does he know about comedy?
Plenty. He directed The Horn Blows at Midnight. So if you're going to drag in experts, I got some on my side, too.
That's right, boss. Tell him about Mr. Carroll P. Craig.
Yeah, he liked the script, and he happens to be a writer who gets $10,000 a page.
Well, that's funny. I never heard of him. What did he have a right to get $10,000 a page?
He won the I Can't Stand Jack Benny contest. Now, Ralph, I still say this is a funny script, and for the life of me, I don't understand your objection.
Well, if you're so positive, maybe I was wrong. Look, I've got the script right here in my briefcase. Let's have another glance at it.
Good.
Let's see now. The face of us is... Say, this is pretty funny stuff.
I told you, Ralph, this is a funny script.
That's a wonderful line.
Certainly. Believe me, Ralph, when it comes to judging comedy, I'm seldom wrong.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe... Oh, now, wait a minute. This isn't your script.
Huh?
This is the one for the radio show I direct.
Radio? What radio show?
The Mean Old Man. I must remember to tell that writer to fix the hole in her roof. Lately, all her scripts are coming in soaked. But that's no problem of yours, Jack.
No.
Now, let's see now. Where did I put... Oh, yes, here's a TV script.
Good. Now, Ralph, I'm sure... Rochester, would you get that, please?
Mr. Benny's residence? Yes? Yes, I see. All right, goodbye.
Who was that, Rochester?
Your butcher.
Oh, the one that likes my script?
He started over and changed his mind.
I don't know why I even go to him. There must be dozens of butchers around town who've directed me in pictures. Now, Ralph, you've been reading the script. What's bothering you?
Well, in these first 5 pages, Jack, the only thing that's even remotely funny is the bit with the orchestra, and we can't do that.
With the orchestra, boys? Why not?
Well, Jack, you know very well we're not allowed to put the camera on your orchestra. There are 40 million people watching.
But, Ralph, it's all right to show the boys on television. I got a clearance from the Musicians' Union.
I don't care. You're on at night, and some of those 40 million people will be eating.
All right, so we'll take out that bit. One routine doesn't make a script bad.
I'll get it. Mr. Benny's residence? Oh, yes, Mr. Leroy. What's that? All right, I'll tell him. Goodbye.
Rochester, was that Mervyn Leroy, the director?
Yeah, he called to say he doesn't like your television script.
Doesn't like it, but I never even sent him a copy.
Well, he said he got it by accident.
Accident?
Yeah, this morning he was at the Safeway and bought a pound of halibut and your script was wrapped around it.
That nice, fresh script around a smelly halibut.
Mr. Leroy put it the opposite way.
I don't care how he put it. I still think it's a good script.
Well, now, don't misunderstand me, Jack. There are some good things in it. But unfortunately, the whole idea is wrong. The whole script is based on your being cheap.
But, Ralph, with the character I portray, people expect me to do cheap things.
I know, and that's fine for radio. But in television, the audience sees you standing there. You have to be a little true to life or nobody will believe it.
Well...
Now, look. Here you have a show starting with 2 strangers knocking on the door of your big Beverly Hills mansion to ask directions. And you invite them in for lunch and then charge them for that. Which is practically making a restaurant out of your home. Then you show them around the grounds, and when the man accidentally falls in the pool, you charge him $0.25 for swimming. And to top it off, when he starts to sneeze, you insist on giving him penicillin at $5 a shot. Now, really, Jack, nobody could be that cheap.
Ralph, you're absolutely right. How could we expect anyone to actually look at me and believe that I could do things like that?
Well, that's my point, Jack. And until we can fix the script so you aren't cheap and more like you really are, we haven't got anything.
Okay, Ralph. I'll call my writers immediately. We'll throw out everything and get a whole new idea.
Good. Now, for a plot, I was thinking maybe we could do a...
Boss, the Greyhound bus is here.
Oh, my goodness, they're 5 minutes early. Rochester, dust off the sandwich display and turn up the flame under the soup.
Well, as I was saying, Jack...
All right, don't forget to push the rice pudding.
I'll push it.
Now, Ralph, you were saying...
Yes, Jack, I feel that if we could...
Here they come, Rochester. Don't crowd, folks. There's plenty for everyone.
Get right up, folks. Soup, sandwiches, and featuring Uncle Jack's rice pudding.
Hey,
Agnes, why didn't you come over here and eat with me?
I can't. The chain on my spoon won't reach that far. What kind of a clip joint is this? You gotta pay extra to get mustard on your hot dog.
That's nothing. The last time I was in here, I accidentally fell in the pool and they charged me for swimming. Don't crowd, folks. Thank you. Here's your change.
Jack, I don't
Excuse me,
understand.
Ralph. You're standing in front of the pennants. Here you are, folks. Souvenirs of Beverly Hills, pennants, picture postcards.
Jack, if you listen to me for a minute, I could tell you what I was thinking.
Watch, I said, there goes one in the pool. You fish him out, I'll get the penicillin.
Here you are, folks. Get your hot dogs and cold drinks. Get your hot dogs and cold drinks.
Ralph, why are you helping me?
I figure if you can't fight it, join it. Here you are, folks. Get your cold drinks. Get your hot dogs.
Yes, sir. Don't forget Uncle Jack's rice pudding. Step right up, folks.
Say, Jack, is it true that on your television show tonight you're having both Bing Crosby and George Burns as guest stars?
Yes, and I hope George is in a better mood than he has been the last few days. He's had a little trouble with the income tax department.
Why?
They wouldn't let him take Gracie off as a dependent.
Jack Benny Show tonight was written by Milt Josephsberg, John Tackerberry, Hal Goldman, Al Gordon, and produced and transcribed by Hilliard Marks.
March 21st, 1954, the Jack Benny program on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. Stream our programs on demand. Learn about classic radio collection of your own and building your own. You can contact me, find our social media links. You can buy me a copy to help us maintain our distribution channels and acquire additional classic radio collections. That's at classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Thank this station, support their advertisers, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.